This is the first Christian Alliance International School webinar, and a warm welcome to you. We're really delighted that we've got a number of parents who have logged in order for us just to share some fantastic news about the IB program. The format of this webinar is that I'll just open with a few words of thanks and prayer, and then I'll hand it over to the principal of IB, that is Dr. Lee, and he has with him, and he'll introduce the staff there at the due time. So I really want to begin because we do need to give thanks. First of all, we give thanks to God for the manner in which we've been approved by IBO. It's happened very quickly and to a very high level of quality of work. So my thanks to Dr. Lee for his leadership, for the work that he has done over the past 3 years to really start from zero and now have a fully approved program. So thank you very much, Dr. Lee.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you, Mr. Vanderpel.
That is a pleasure. And obviously, as Dr. Lee would also say, there have been others, Mr. Peter Chan, who was here for 2 years, as well as many staff who have done hours of training in order to be equipped to offer IB. It is great for us as a school to offer yet now a third qualification. As you know, we have the Alberta Diploma, we offer AP courses, and now the IB Diploma. In actual fact, that makes us one of a very small number of schools in the world that offer these three curriculums and qualifications. So we're just delighted with that. It does mean that we can really meet the needs of the students who are at our school. Some will have an eye towards Canada, some may have an eye towards America, but for many global qualification, the IB one is in many ways a passport to lots of universities. Look, I want to now just open with prayer, and then I will hand it over to Dr. Lee and his team. So just join with me. Father and Almighty God, we do thank you for the wonderful news that we've received from IBO some time ago with the approval to commence the diploma program. We thank you for that, Lord. We thank you for the work of many people that have done it. But Father, we are also thankful to you for the way in which you have enabled the school to achieve this milestone. Father, we pray especially for parents and for students as they start to consider which qualification they want to have their child move down. And so, Father, we do pray for wisdom and discernment. Lord, we pray that these three gentlemen will be able to clearly articulate the benefits and the process of the IB Diploma program. And this we ask in your mighty name. Amen. Amen. So look, I will leave it there and wish you an enjoyable hour with these gentlemen, and wish you also a very blessed weekend.
Thank you, Mr. Vanderpel.
Thank you.
Thank you. So welcome all the grade 10 parents and students, and thank you for your time coming, watching the webinar today. And as Mr. Vanderpel said, this is a miracle from our Lord and His grace to bless the school. And since 2 years ago, actually, we didn't have anything, any knowledge, any preparation about IB. And it's the teamwork with all the teachers involved that we can come to this stage today. And so today we'll go through, I also want to thank for the parents who have been working with us, since 2018 as the IB focus group. So we had heard a lot of feedback, a lot of advice from parents and their preferences. And thank you for all the prayers from the parents and students. So today we'll briefly introduce, give you all the parents the overview of the IB Diploma at CAIS. And it's not the end of the introduction. So we welcome all individual consultation with all students and parents who are interested to pursue IB next year. All right, so I have a few reminders on housekeeping. So first, we know some of the parents or students cannot attend today's webinar now. So the webinar will be recorded and we'll share to parents, grade 10 parents and students to watch the video next week. And parents and students, you can raise any question about IB during the webinar now. And we try to answer some of the questions at the end of the webinar. And we will also reply to the parents afterwards. All right, so you may notice that we have sent out the course survey, selection survey, maybe half an hour ago. And let's read the survey, and I want to just give you an overview of that survey. Okay, so the survey will contain two parts. The first part will be about your subject preferences in Alberta Diploma. And the later part from question 2 and onwards, so it's about the IB subject choices. So one of the questions will be, we'd like to know whether you are interested, or you're still looking for, or you are not interested to apply for the IB Diploma next year. And the third question is, so we give you some typical subject combinations for different university aspirations, like if you want to study business, you want to study humanities, science, or biomedical science. So those are the typical subject choices. And finally, if you don't find all these combinations suitable to your preference, so we also like to hear from you, what are your preferred subject choices. So the last question was, so give us your preferred subject choices and leave your name, and then we'll be in contact with you. So this is the course survey form, and we expect you to return back to us next Friday. All right. Okay, so let me start with the overview of the IB Diploma at CAIS. Thank you. So we will have 5 different sections in this webinar. So I'll give you an overview, and secondly, I will introduce what are the subjects offered at CAIS next year. And I will briefly describe what are the differences or the characteristics of Alberta Diploma and IB Diploma. Fourthly, so I would let you know about the enrollment timeline and what is the application procedure. And finally, Mr. Charles Grayson will describe, let you know more about our guidance counseling services at the school. All right, so IB Diploma is an academic program. So it's a diploma program for students with age 16 to 19. It's a 2-year continuous program for grade 11 and 12. So that means if you select the subjects at grade 11, so you study the same subject in grade 12. It's a 2-year continuous program. And the IB Diploma result could be used to apply for universities anywhere locally or overseas. And especially the IB Diploma is highly respected by top universities, local and also overseas. And only IBO accredited schools can offer IB Diploma, and we are one of them. All right, so this is the core diagram, the course diagram. You see on the right-hand side, there's concentric circles. So there's a core element called theory of knowledge, extended essay, and also creativity, activity, and service. So all IB diploma students have to take the 3 components, so TOK, EE, and CAS. And there are 6 subject groups. So on the top, you'll see studies in language and literature. So that's the first language. In our school, all students have to take English A, so English as their first language. And on the left-hand side, you see language acquisition. So that's the second language. So we will have the Chinese B, or we call it Mandarin B. Third is the humanities. So we call it individuals and societies on the right-hand side. And fourth, sciences on the bottom left. So and fifth, bottom right, which is mathematics. And at the bottom, we have the arts. And students have to take 6 subjects from the 6 subject groups. So they have to take 1 from group 1 to group 5. So 1 first language, one second language, one humanities, and one science, and one mathematics. So the last subject could be arts or humanity or science. Among the 6 subjects, so 3 of them should be higher level and 3 of them should be standard level. High level refers to 240 teaching hours, standard level 150 teaching hours. So in our school, we actually did some careful design of based on our past student preferences, and we also looked at our Alberta curriculum, and then this is our curriculum design for the IB Diploma. So group 1, so the first language, we have English A Literature, English A Language and Literature, and Chinese A Language and Literature. Group 2, Mandarin B or Chinese B. Group 3, Humanities, we have a choice of 3 subjects, economics, history, or psychology. Group 4, Biology, Chemistry, and Physics. Group 5, so there are 2 mathematics choices from IB Diploma. So Mathematics Analysis and Approaches, we call it MAA, or Mathematics Application and Interpretation, MAI. And Group 6, Visual Arts. So bear in mind, MAI, we only offer high level because this is kind of applied mathematics, and we know some universities do not recognize MAI standard level, so we only offer a higher level. All right, so these are the typical subject choices that parents can consider. So for those who are interested in studying business or art in the university, they can choose English A, Len and Lit, high level or standard level, Mandarin B, high level or standard level, economics, high level, standard level, chemistry, standard level, MAA, standard level or high level, and visual arts, standard level or high level. So it involves all the 6 subjects, 6 subject groups. Humanities, so if a student does not choose visual art, so he can choose another group 3 subject. So instead of one group 3, so he can choose history, standard level, high level, or psychology, standard level, high level, and or biology, standard level, high level. So MAA, so mathematics, standard level. So this could be a choice for those who study humanities, such as for those who want to study sociology or other business or any other subject in humanities. For those who are interested in biological science, so they can choose biology high level, chemistry high level, and the rest, so one from group 1, one from group 2, one from group 3. So psychology may be a good match. Mathematics standard level. So I would like to say if a student is particularly interested to study medicine in university, so chemistry should be high level. And the 4th typical choice is the physical science or engineering. So the emphasis will be on mathematics and physics higher level. He can choose economics standard level or high level, and chemistry standard level. So those 4 typical subject choices can be used for you as reference. Okay, so in the future, we would like to add more subjects that we can cater for more students and or different university aspirations. So we would like to include French B in group 2. That means French B as a second language. And we will also include business management in group 3. So in parallel with economics, computer science in group 4, and some more subjects. All right, so parents may ask, how do I select? We have Alberta, we have advanced placement, we have IB. So let me give you an overview of the 3 different examinations. All right, so the core will be Alberta Diploma. Some students would like to strengthen the CV with say a few advanced placement courses. So and the third choice is the IB Diploma. So all the combinations, say Alberta Diploma only, Alberta Diploma plus advanced placement, or IB Diploma, so are also good in university application locally and worldwide. Alberta Diploma is based on a credit system, 100 credit in order to get a full diploma, and there are a great variety of elective choices. 70% of the marks from internal from the school, and 30% of the marks are from diploma examination for some core Alberta subjects. So students can also strengthen the CV by choosing some AP courses, for example, physics, mathematics, or chemistry. So when they apply for top universities, so they are in advantage. All right, but IB Diploma has more requirement on subject combinations. Just like we have heard, students have to choose subjects from group 1 up to group 5, and 3 of them should be high level and standard level. So there are more restrictions on subject combinations. And secondly, in terms of the assessment, so IB Diploma has internal assessment and external assessment. Internal assessment has ranged from say 20% to 50%, depends on different subjects, and external assessment 50% to 80%. Internal assessment is similar to a project or essay writing. External assessment is more on the examination. At CAIS, we offer 3 choices for grade 11 and 12 students: Alberta only, Alberta plus advanced placement courses, and also IB Diploma. And so Alberta Diploma and IB Diploma are also able to equip the students with the necessary skills and qualities for them to be successful in universities, and also to fulfill their personal and academic potential and their aspirations. We know this is a commitment. This is a critical decision for parents and students. So we have a strong team of guidance counseling to give advice to students and parents on which diploma suit them better, and also advise what are the best choices of subject that they can succeed in the examination. So as a rule of thumb, if student apply for UK, so they have a unified university application system, we call it UCAS. So from the UCAS point of view, IB high level is equivalent to A level, and IB standard level is equivalent to AS level. So when you browse the website of, say, universities in the UK, and they require some A-level subjects, and if you want to apply through the IB Diploma, so those subjects should be of higher level. All right, so and the design of the IB Diploma is aimed to help students to equip with the following skills, and so basically the IB learner profile. So student graduates from the IB Diploma will be trained as inquirers, knowledgeable thinkers, communicators, principled, open-minded, caring, risk takers, balanced, caring, and also reflective. And they also train students, particularly 5 skills: thinking skills, including critical thinking, creative thinking, communication skills, social skills, self-management skills, and research skills. So in particular, so why IB is in favor of many universities is because students have to do research in all the subjects that they have chosen. So IB graduates are strong in doing research and also strong in writing academic essays. And that will help IB graduates to perform well in universities and also in workplaces. So the DP core consists of 3 components: theory of knowledge, extended essay, and also creativity, activity, and service. So they are different forms of assessment. So for students to be successful in TOK, so they have to do presentations, they have to write reflections, and they have to write an essay of about 1,400 words. About extended essay, so all students have to write their reflections and also a research report. And the research report is about 4,000 words. And for the creativity, activity, and service, students have to write a portfolio. The portfolio will record all the activities that the student has done in the 2-year IB diploma. About the internal assessment, so it's of different forms such as essays, news commentary, research report, lab reports, etc. There's no time limit. Basically, it's not supposed to finish within 2 hours. So students can finish the report in maybe about 20 hours. So time constraint is not a consideration, but they need to produce high quality research report in the internal assessments. And external assessment is of the form written examinations and also essays. So one particular feature about IB assessment is IBO emphasize on academic integrity. So plagiarism is not allowed or strictly prohibited. All the submitted work to IBO will be checked against any plagiarism. So about the scores, so each subject will have a score of from 1 to 7 points. And there are 6 subjects. So altogether, the full score for 6 subjects will be 7 times 6, 42 points. And the DP core, so in terms of TOK and EE, the maximum score is 3 points. So an IB graduate could have a full score of 45 points. All right, this table is giving you a bit of idea, how many points could help the student to enter different types of universities and also different faculties. Say, for example, if you want to apply for HKU or CHK medical program, so typically students should have at least 43 points, and they have to undergo the interview. And this is based on my experience. And say, for example, if a student wants to study law in King's College London, so the minimum overall score will be 35 points. So the 3 high-level subjects should be at least 1.7 and 2.6. So this gives you a flavor of, say, how many points will be enough to go to different universities. Say, if you see a student can get 35 points, so he can go to many universities to study many common faculties. Say, for example, 35 points. So if a student can get, say, 3.6 and 3.5s, so the student can already get 33 points and then 2 points from the core, then he will meet 35 points. So that gives you an idea. Whether a student need to be the top student or just an average student, then he can go to different universities. All right, so actually many top universities are like IB graduates. So in particular, there's some YouTube videos from Stanford University. So the Assistant Dean of Admission highly praised IB graduates. So what she said, so IB students show very high success rates during their first year of university. All right, so let's hear what she tells us about the IB graduates.
As a parent thinking about having my child attend an IB program, I do remember worrying about the rigor and was it going to be worth it? And I think in so many ways it has been. I think the changes I saw in my own child going through the IB program were primarily recognizing that he could do things that he never thought he could do. It expanded his way of thinking. It encouraged our entire family to travel more than we would have otherwise. His linguistic skills were really honed, and all of those things have come into play later on. So in ways that you don't necessarily expect, I think a parent can actually watch your child grow and expand in these many different ways that the IB promotes. Selective institutions, highly selective institutions like Stanford, perceive IB students as strongly prepared, capable, ready to take on the challenges of the curriculum that we offer. Our schools tend to have a higher expectation for students coming in just because the nature of our student bodies are highly prepared. And IB students are among those who are ready to tackle whatever it is we can offer them in the very beginning. When we see an IB student's application, we light up, we are excited, we're looking to see how a student has taken on the IB. It's so individualized when you really get down to it. Many projects are self-initiated. Research is done based on things that they really care about, and that's an unusual opportunity for students in high school. And I think if they can portray that on their applications, it makes them sound more lively. It shows us what's going on inside their heads. It gives us a sense of their initiative. The IB definitely has research, and institutions have done it as well, to show that there is a higher success rate of IB students in the first year or two of college.
Okay, so about our IB diploma next year, 2021-2022. So the class size will be around 20 to 25 students per class, and we are allowed to open 1 to 2 classes next year for DP Year 1 and the year afterwards. So both DP Year 1 and DP Year 2, 1 or 2 classes. And the tuition fee is, as you see in the slide, so it's about 10% higher than the grade 11 Alberta Diploma program currently, and is divided into 10 installments for the first year. And parents can also apply for fee reduction, and so the same criteria will be applied to Alberta students or IB students. All right, so this is about the enrollment timeline. So all the applicants should fill in the IB selection process form. And okay, let's see the form. All right, so this is a letter from Mr. Vanderpelt to all the grade 10 parents and school and students. So you need to look at the middle column. So after today, so there will be an email address that you can send any inquiry to us concerning about IB curriculum, concerning about how to apply, or you want to book a time for the personal consultation. So you can send us an email at ibdp_inquiry@caisbv.edu.hk starting from today. And myself, Mr. Charles Grayson will, and also Mr. Ronald Chan will answer you. We will read the email and answer you. As said, the subject survey form will be sent out today, and we expect you to give us your preference on Alberta subject choices and IB subject choices by next Friday. And then the IB selection process form, that means the actual the IB application form, will be released on 8th of February, Monday. So you have about a month to consider. So the deadline to submit the IB application will be 5th of March. And there will be individual or group interview in the week of 8th to 12th of March. And we'll have some internal discussion, and then we'll give you the offer, letter of offer, end of March, 29th of March. And you have 2 weeks to think carefully and sign back to us by 12th of April. So if you have any question about the application, about the curriculum, so please do send us an email through the ibdp_inquiry@caisbv.edu.hk. Right, so this is the IB selection process form, and you will see there's some description about the IB mission statement, the 10 learner profiles, the subject choices at CAIS, and the application procedure. So all the students have to submit the application form as well as the personal statement. Okay, so you need to fill in this page. So let us know about your final decision on the IB subjects and also the level, high level, standard level, and tell us why you are interested to apply for the IB diploma. This document will be provided to the parents and students. So we actually spend a lot of time to compare the Alberta Diploma Curriculum and also the IB Diploma Curriculum. So you will see how the IB subjects are assessed, and they have the external assessment, internal assessment. So there's some description about TOK, E, and CAS. All right, so these are the subjects that we offer, and there's some description about Alberta Diploma, the credits, and about Alberta Diploma plus Advanced Placement, and also the timelines. So at grade 12, so if students have to apply for university, so we also optimize the deadlines and also the what students should do in grade 12. So this is a very important table for you to compare the workload of Alberta and IB. And we also did some comparison between Alberta and IB and also AP for different subjects. So English A literature, English A language and literature, Chinese A language and literature, Mandarin B, so on and so forth. So the whole document will be uploaded for parents to download, to read carefully. And in case you have any question about the curriculum, so please send us an email, and then we can reserve time and then discuss with you and your child. All right, so we have gone through this slide, and next. Okay, so it's the time for Mr. Grayson to tell us how the school support academically and also help you to choose the right diploma and the right subject combination.
So thank you, Dr. Lee, for that very thorough background. Certainly what we are trying to really get through or convey through our new IB program is that it is rigorous, and that our program itself with the IB program actually is rigorous, but that rigor actually influences the preparedness that you will have for university work. And so part of our systematic process that we have here at Christian Alliance International School is that no student would actually be going through this alone. So we do offer really comprehensive guidance counseling services here. And so we adopt the comprehensive guidance counseling program or guidance program, which actually acts proactively and reactively. And so we'll go through that one by one in a bit. And so the areas of influence that we have here would be the academic, career, social, and personal side of it, part of our counseling services. And so from the organizational frameworks, first, it will go through guidance curriculum. Secondly, it will be individual planning. Thirdly, it will be responsive services. And then fourthly, what we have is system support. And so just to start off with the guidance curriculum, the systematic support and developmental approach that we have really is that we're going to be working with students, where they are at. And it's the belief that there is some knowledge and information that could be taught or shared that we're able to better come alongside our students with. Now, in the grade 10, there's what's known as the Career and Life Management course that students would be taking. And we simply really call that CALM. And for grade 11 and grade 12, those students are actually going to be doing the university preparatory class. And so in that class, there's specific topics that explore IBDP, which is our International Baccalaureate program, as well as exploring relationship between the IB program and universities in terms of its rigor, which actually influences or shape your preparedness into university. And then there's overview on application requirements, making sure that all students are meeting the deadlines, application process, and the overview on Bridge U, which is a system that we use in order to make sure that we're tracking the applications of students that are actually working on them or applying to the universities, as well as exploring different countries of education systems. And so we were able to hear from Stanford University in terms of why the IB program is so highly regarded and really a high caliber program. Me being from the United States myself, I know that elite universities as well as Ivy League universities really do take notice of students who are in the program for IB, because it's something that is actually shared in terms of an understanding of how rigorous the program is, how much the student is actually going to be shaped and developed throughout this time. And then there's Alumni Sharing, really allowing alumni who have gone through the program or here at Christian Alliance International Schools to actually come back into our school to be able to share their experiences about the universities that they're currently a part of. And then we have University Admission Sharing. And so that really is, what is the universities like? Allowing the universities to come, be it through webinar or be it in-person services where they're able to share about the universities that are of high interest to our students. A lot of them being elite universities within the UK or Australia and Canada as well, or even in the US. And then there's the sharing from different subjects and career field. And finally is the decision-making techniques. How is it that you're going to decide that this is going to be the right university for you? And so we'll be able to help you with that. Now, from the guidance curriculum side, as I mentioned before, there's University and Career Planning Night that does happen. And really that is an opportunity for our students to just come through and understand what it is like for the university and career, what avenue they actually should be going in terms of their actual future careers for whatever university they're interested in or whatever career path they're interested in as well. Then there's the career and academic talk, in which we bring in guest speakers as well to be able to talk to them about specific professions or specific callings, as we like to call it here at Christian Alliance International School, whatever they may be called to. What is it that God is calling you to be specifically? And so we believe that there's a uniqueness, there's an identity that each student holds that God has specifically called them to be. So maybe they're calling to be doctors, maybe they're calling to be lawyers or teachers. Whatever it is, we want to make sure that those professions are able to come in and students are able to listen to them in terms of what it is that they're going to be ultimately in choosing, the next pathway for their lives. And then there's the transition to high school talk. And so just the transition to high school talk. And then the individual planning as another tenet is the belief that university process happens on an individual basis. And so we're working one-to-one with our students to make sure that they're getting clear guidance and that they're not left alone. And so at least 3 times a year in grade 12, that will actually happen where they're working with us one-on-one. And of course, we have open door policy with our guidance office that you can find either myself or Mr. Chan. And so that would be a process of checking the progress, which one is application intentions, and that usually happens throughout the August to January timeline. Secondly, you're looking at an application process in terms of, what is going to be required for you when applying to universities from November to April. And then finally, as I mentioned, finalizing the decision, which tends to be the most daunting task for our students in terms of, is this going to be the right college for me? Am I making the right choice? And that actually happens from May to February. The individual planning, as I mentioned, really is involved with course changing, course advising, self-direct search assessment in terms of allowing them to be able to discover. It's more of a discovery process in terms of what assessment will actually give them really the aspect of identifying where they should be or the profession they should remain in. And then there's issues, reference letters. And so me, and again, if I haven't introduced myself, I'm Mr. Grayson. I'm here as the Senior Student Services Manager for Christian Alliance International School, writing reference for our students, or they can go to Mr. Ronald Chan, who is our guidance counselor in high school, to be able to have their reference letters written as well. Finally, there's the advice on personal statements. And so for our students who are actually going through the process, we know that it can be quite a tedious task in terms of writing those essays and the fear of whether or not their I's are dotted and T's are crossed and whether the sentence structure, everything is how it should be. And so we do provide that sort of guidance and advice for our students in terms of how to shape their personal statements as well. For responsive service, we really aim at creating a safe and caring environment. And I think that this is one of our strongest suits that we have here at Christian Alliance International School, is that our students actually feel cared for and they understand that they are always welcome into our office where we're able to create more community. And it's a diverse group as well, which I think really is something that is unique part of our institution as well. It's non-judgmental and respectful attitude that we provide to each and every student, so you won't be judged. And it's a place to express your emotions. So, be it if it's an academic need or a mental health issue, we want to make sure that, in those times of need, that we are able to meet you where you are. And so you're able to seek those services from us. And then there's goal setting. What is it going to take for you to go from A to B, or not even just A to B, but long range planning in terms of A to Z? And we're able to get you there as well. And then how to cope and deal with the stress that you're going to be under, or that is presented to you in the IB program. Because again, this program certainly will be rigorous, as it should be. And we want to make sure that we're providing you tools that you can use to really reduce your stress. And so what are going to be those things that become stress relievers instead of stress inducers? Finally, it's the decision management skills that you can provide, that will be provided to you from our counseling services as well. And then we have our support system. We actually liaise with institutions globally, not just here in Hong Kong, but globally. We're able to work with specific institutions, universities, to work on what their requirements are. Requirements for universities do change often, and so we try to stay well informed to make sure that students and their parents can equally stay informed. Then there's the graduation planning. For our students who are in grade 11 or grade 12, we want to make sure that you are fully prepared. So by the time that you do graduate, you know that you have the credits that you need to graduate, as well as identifying the institution's requirements in order for you to get there. And then it's the professional development for our teachers. Our teachers are certified and trained in IB as well, but we want to make sure that for all of our teachers, that they're consistently going through the process where they're able to be enhanced in their skills in terms of the professional development that they're going to be meeting for the variation of students that will be coming into their classrooms. And then finally is the transcripts. We're able to send those transcripts out for the students. For pastoral care, we offer really bespoke care and guidance throughout students' time at CAIS so that they can flourish both academically and socially. And our pastoral care starts as soon as the student joins us. And so we don't wait. We have what's called PAC, which is Pastoral Advisory Care Time. And that is actually held on a daily basis for about 20 minutes or so for every day throughout the school year, providing students the opportunity to reflect and develop their social awareness and interest in the world that surrounds us. And so finally, if you have questions, you can reach out to myself or you can reach out to Mr. Ronald Chan. If you find yourself in need of counseling support, you can contact him, and there his email address, as well as his room is located in 316, which is the 3rd floor. My room is, of course, located in 317, also within the guidance office.
Right. So thank you, Mr. Grayson. So any grade 10 parent or student would like to ask any question about IB Diploma, and so please send us an email to IBDP_inquiry@cisbv.edu.hk. So, or you can, your child can look for myself, Mr. Grayson, or Mr. Ronald Chan to get any advice from us. And we do really want to meet you face to face to give you personal advice on the subject choices or the decision of which diploma would be most suitable to you. All right, so we'll wait for a moment and see if parent you have any question, immediate question, then you can send us through the chat box in the webinar, and we try to answer you immediately. Right. So there was a question. So what's the class size in 2021-22? So we'll be from 20 to 25 students in a class. And really depends on the response from internal parents and also from maybe external applicants. So we want to keep the class size small, but you know, it should be an affordable and also sustainable program. So your feedback on the subject choice or the survey form will be important to us, so we can arrange the enough manpower and for the next year. Okay, is there any other question?
So Dr. Lee, can you just discuss what would be the next steps for our parents as we're closing out?
Oh, thank you, Mr. Grayson. So parents, so we'll upload all the documents that we have shown today, and also the video playback and the presentation slides by next Tuesday. So you can use your spare time, discuss with your child, and if you are interested, so please do send us email, reserve time for consultation, and we really look forward to get your survey form and also your feedback on how we can make the IB Diploma better. And maybe you have some other question about if you want to know more about the IB Diploma or Alberta Diploma or AP, just send us your question. All right, so there's some question coming. Okay, so one question was the core, the DP core, so TOK, EE, and CAS only contribute 3 points. So does it mean it can only be 1 or 0? No, actually it depends on, let me elaborate more. So TOK will be either A, B, C, D, or E. The same for extended essay, A, B, C, D, or E. Right. So if the student get E in either TOK or EE, then the student will not get the diploma. So the minimum grade for TOK and EE should be D. If a student get A in TOK and A in EE, then the student will get 3 points. 1A, 1B, 2 points. If the student get 2B, so B in TOK, B in EE, 2 points. And how about CAS? So student have to complete the portfolio. So he has to engage in the activities, writing the portfolio, writing reflections. If all the portfolio meet the IB CAS learning outcome, then the student will not fail. Put it this way: if the student is not able to produce the portfolio to meet the CAS learning outcome, so student will fail in the IB diploma. But CAS does not contribute any point in the DP core. So the three components are also important. So TOKE and CAS. Okay, some more question coming. Thank you. So what happens if the IB mark is low? Can my child still get in? Okay, so I guess the question is, if my child has low in grade 10 score, can I get into IB stream? Or get in university? Okay, so if the IB score is low, can I get to university? So based on my experience, I've been teaching IB for over 10 years. Depends on the location and also the faculty of the university. So if a student gets 35 points, so if the faculty is not like medicine or law, so usually I think the student can get to the university in Hong Kong. And also it depends on the performance in the interview. And there are some students in the past who got only 30 points, but he can study engineering in Hong Kong. Really depends on different years, different situations. But of course, it's not just purely the points, but also the interview. And there are some faculties who require certain internship experience. So if a student, is really looking for, say, study medicine in Hong Kong, so I would suggest students should have some internship experience in a clinic or in a hospital that can show his passion in the medical field. So, but of course, if the student has the number of points which is less than 24, say 23 or below, he will not get the diploma. So of course, we don't wait until, say, the student take the examination. So our teachers, our guidance counselor will look into, say, the study progress of student. If we find that the student is at risk, so we'll talk to the student and also talk to parent to see whether there's any problem in the study skills or any other problem that caused, the delay in the progress. So we don't wait until the end of the second year, but we will keep looking at the learning progress even from the beginning of the DP year 1.
And I would just add to that, that is a little, I guess there's ambiguity in trying to determine, low mark, if my child has received a low mark, whether or not they'll be able to get into university. So from the US perspective, what we deem is that there's what's known as the National Association of College Admissions Counseling, NCAT. And so with that, when students are actually applying to the institution, there's actually a form that will be completed by students by the guidance counselor rather, or any senior manager within student services that really identifies what has been the level of rigor that the student has completed. And so if we're going to compare IB against the students doing a regular curriculum, let's say against Alberta, we would say that this certainly would be a higher level of rigor that would be required of the student because of their focus with that. And so that there would be still opportunity from the US side for them to get into university, but it's just a matter in terms of whether or not they're getting into a state institution or an elite university or an Ivy League institution. And so it's really guiding them in terms of correcting their pathway in terms of what would be possible for them.
Mm-hmm. So there are also some other considerations from universities. Mm-hmm. So they don't just look at the score, but they also look at the learning process in the 2 year. For example, I know some students using the extended essay experience when they interview certain faculty, even though the score may be marginal, but the student can show to the university admissions office, so he has acquired certain skills, he has learned some other skills that stand out with his competitors. That is also advantage of IB. So let's see whether there's any other question from any parent. Okay, if no, then I think we will stop here, but we do appreciate if any student, any parent can send us email or make an appointment with us to discuss your case in particular, and we would like to meet you face to face in the coming few weeks before you submit the application form. And please do send us your survey feedback, so we know how to do the planning in the coming weeks. And
thank you for your attention this evening. So thank you for all the parents as well as the students who have joined us. And with that, we will bid you a good night. Thank you.
Bye-bye.